Sweater.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Nancy.
And we are on the needles.
Episode
10. I can't believe it.
Ooh, I know.
So we're coming from our own homes this time over Zoom because of the huge uptick in COVID we've had in our area. And we just don't want to share our cooties with each other. And one of the great things about doing it this way is that you can actually see our faces. So we thought that might be a silver lining.
And we can drink coffee while we're doing it.
Right. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, or whatever beverage.
Yes.
Just grab a cuppa and grab a chair and sit back and watch.
Get on the needles with us. So what have you been doing this week, Nancy?
You know, it's been a month. I can't believe it's been a month since we've recorded.
Has it been a month? Well, I guess we did the little bonus thing, but that wasn't a real episode.
That wasn't an episode. That was just a little bonus. So
yeah,
that was like 9.5, episode 9.
Right.
I just want to say Christmas Advents are done. They're out the door. The only one I haven't delivered is Kathleen's, but I'll get it to her.
Right. That's okay.
And I tell you, and then I had a mini Advent I was doing for a yarn store in Seattle, and I got that shipped out this morning. So I loved it. I love doing it. I hope everybody loves opening as much as I enjoy doing it. But it was a lot of work. I had to make, I would imagine, I don't even know, I could figure out, I'm going to say close to 3,000 minis. Kathleen, we just lost you.
I know. I don't know what happened. I must have hit something.
Yeah. So, but since then I've been able to get the mini skeins in because my supplier has got them. So in the shop news, I'll talk about the post-Halloween Advent. But yeah, so I have been working, I think 8 days a week, 10 hours a day. I'm excited. I am taking tomorrow off. And I think I'm going to take Saturday and Sunday off. That's yet to be determined. I told my granddaughter I might take a whole week off, and she said, "You would never do that." Aww. You would never do that. And I said, "You're right. I'd have to probably paint the house or something like that, which it needs." But I did a truck show last Saturday at our local yarn store at Knit the Studio, where we did our little bonus video from. And so that was fun. It was good to get to see a few of my knitting people in person. Yeah. Of course, we had our masks on and we social distanced and nobody got to hug anybody, but just to see another person was, pretty exciting. Yeah. So, and you have some really fun news.
Well, we got a puppy.
Yeah.
And I was going to bring her in here, but she ran around the backyard this morning in epic fashion and exhausted herself. So she's been asleep in her crate, but I will show you a picture. That's Iris.
I might need to angle it I think you're getting
like that.
Yeah, there's a good, you were getting like a window reflection or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting. So that's Iris. She's little. She doesn't look little in pictures, but she is like, I don't know, 9 pounds or something. And she's a total mutt. We got her at a shelter in Central Washington, and she is a really good puppy. I mean, she's a puppy, so there's, the puppy things, but she is pretty chill for more than the puppies I've had in my puppy experience. And our older dog Daisy is being pretty good girl. She is not too irritated with her. I mean, she kind of tells her to back off when she needs to, but she's being a good girl. So we've been having fun with that. And also yesterday I kind of hit a wall because I was trying to work. I was trying to get, things ready for the podcast, and the puppy was having a day. So and the other dog woke up with, Daisy woke up with her eye swollen shut. So I had to take her to the vet. It was just one thing after another.
Is she okay?
She's fine, of course. Today she was just fine. She's got little drops, and I think maybe Iris scratched her.
Yeah.
So and I've been also trying to knit, and actually it is amazing because Iris doesn't bother the yarn, which I'm shocked at, because Daisy, when she was a puppy, was a nightmare.
Okay, so it sounds to me like it's a Stepford puppy.
I know.
It doesn't attack yarn.
She's so good.
On shoes, it just lays around.
Yeah, well, she has gotten a couple shoes, but she hasn't done anything to them because we've, gotten them from her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she likes my boiled wool clogs, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's been the adventure. That's been taking up a ton of my time, which is fun. And then tomorrow is Thanksgiving. We're recording this on Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I've been planning on cooking. I usually do pretty much the whole meal, and my mom will do a couple things. My mom lives with us, so she's in our bubble, and we're looking forward to that. We're going to do maybe some Zoom games with our family that can't be with us, or something like that. At least some, good conversations.
So are you doing the turkey and everything?
I got a turkey breast that I'm going to do in the crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom got a little ham from the My Fresh Basket, our organic grocery store here. And it's delicious. We've had it before. And so we're going to do that. And then the usual side dishes that we love.
Is your sister coming over?
No, because my sister was with us for a couple weeks recently. Her husband is Egyptian, and he went to visit his family in Egypt for 2 weeks. So she stayed in her apartment for the 2 weeks while he was gone. And then the 2 weeks to quarantine. And then the 2 weeks after he got back, she stayed with us. And so unfortunately she's, back in her own bubble now. So we'll have to do a little Zoom thing with her. This is when I miss not living in a warm climate where you can be out all the time.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna be pretty quiet too. It's just me and the girls. So I didn't even get a turkey.
What'd you get?
I got Cornish game hens.
Oh yeah, yum.
I thought, I'll do the one granddaughter's she's away at college, and she does pretty good at social distancing. So she is going to come home just for dinner. She's not staying, but she's going to have to keep her mask on, except when we eat, and we'll eat at a distance. But yeah, the girls just didn't want turkey. And so, yeah, we're just going to do Cornish game hens, and then the stuffing and the green bean casserole and mashed potatoes. And I've got some broccoli and cauliflower that I just might roast up, keep it real simple.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
I'm going to make a cherry pie because that was what they wanted for dessert. So
nice.
I would prefer pecan pie. That's my favorite. If anybody's out there listening, you missed my birthday, but just because pies are fun.
Well, it is a holiday season. It's all about pies.
Yeah, I love.
Have you seen those pies with the crusts that are knitted? Look knitted.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
No, I'm not doing that.
I don't have the patience for that.
The lattice crusts, it's like, oh, I just.
Well, pecan pie doesn't need a top crust. That's nice. No, we do pumpkin. We love pumpkin, and I found a really good gluten-free crust at Trader Joe's because Mimi's gluten-free, so it's good. It's a little bit salty, which I think is good with things, and it's nice and flaky, and I recommend it. So we're just gonna have that and not bother. We usually have 2 pies or she has custard, whatever. So she's excited to get the the whole shebang.
So yeah, I've got a little pie plate, and it's called Pie for Two, and they're very small. And a friend of mine is a potter, and so they made them, and so I use that for our pies now. For me to do a full, 8-9 inch pie, one of the kids isn't a pie eater, and so they kind of tend to go to waste.
Yeah.
Or they go to my hips and my waist. So the little one is just perfect.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That sounds
And then,
cute.
of course, for our appetizer, we're eating on some of that Cougar Gold cheese.
Absolutely.
If you guys, I know Wisconsin makes great cheese, but WSU Coleman, they have the best cheese. And so one of our knitting buddies went down to Pullman a couple weeks ago. Her daughter goes to school there. And so she took orders for cans of Cougar Gold. And
of course, we all wanted one. So she was
Oh,
all over
yeah.
town delivering Cougar Gold.
Yeah.
But thank you, Casey.
Yes, Casey.
We'll think about you tomorrow.
And they have a really good ice creamery down there too.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of hard to bring home.
Right. They probably have a way to do it though. Dry ice or something. Well, should we get into the knitting?
I guess we probably should. I think that's why people are here. I hope.
You think? They don't want to hear about our Thanksgiving dinner. Okay.
Hello on what everybody else is doing for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I want to hear if you're doing something
different.
Yes.
So different. I do know some people that are going against what our governor would like and are getting together. We're just not. I think we're going to do a little Zoom. My brother and his wife, my sister and her husband, my widowed mother lives by herself. So we'll just all kind of do a little Zoom, and next year we can get together. So,
yeah.
But yes. Enough.
It was interesting. I was commenting on the newspaper's post about the governor not wanting people to get together for Thanksgiving. And they said, are you going to or not? And I said, no, we're not. We'll get together next year, but this year we're just going to do our household. And somebody commented on it and said, well, maybe they don't, maybe they'll die of something else and this will be their last Thanksgiving. And I said, well, that's possible. Anything can happen, but at least I'm not contributing to them dying of COVID. And that's what we're talking about here, and so I just thought, oh boy, so people are just going to do what they're going to do.
Oh, they are going to do what they're going to do. But Lordy, we need to get a handle. Our numbers here are amazing.
Yeah, they're just at the highest ever. And my wife, she's a pharmacist and she's doing some COVID triage work right now because it's so high. And she works for the Spokane Health Association, I think. Anyway, it's called CHAZ, Community Health Association. So she has just been calling people, telling them they have COVID just all day, every day. I mean, it's just awful.
I know. I start stalking the website about 2:30 just so I can see what the numbers are.
Yeah.
We had like 8 deaths yesterday.
Oh,
well, anyway, that's
horrifying.
Knitting. Let's
get to knitting. Back to knitting.
Yes.
All right. So I've got a couple finished objects. One of them I'm wearing, finally, my Dark and Stormy, and I'll stand up and back up so I can show it to you. So this is it. And the back.
That's so cool.
And so it's a little bit big, and you can see it's supposed to be a lot more fitted, and so it's pretty roomy, but it was much roomier than this. Even I had to wash it. Well, I got it wet and then put it in the dryer like 5-minute increments, and it shrunk up a little bit. Like the sleeves are perfect right now. I like them just right at my wrist. And you can see it even a little felted, it's a little bit in this one, maybe even more. You can see it's a little bit, which doesn't bother me. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, I thought I was doing the right size. I've lost a lot of weight, and I think maybe I am knitting a little bit too big still. I don't know.
And I think that happens.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that truly that's not the size I should be making.
Right.
This is
right.
the size. So
yeah,
it's.
And my gauge didn't change. I mean, I don't know. When I realized, I knew it was too long. Well, not too long, but longer than it showed in the pattern. And I had a lot of yarn, so I was going to make it longer anyway. But when I tried it on, were you there? Did you see it before I shrunk it a little bit?
I did not. No.
Yeah, I mean, it shrunk pretty much a full size, and it's still, yeah. But as you when you felt stuff, I don't know if you guys know, it usually shrinks more lengthwise, knitted things, length, whatever way it's knitted. If it's knitted sideways, it's going to shrink this way. If it's knitted long way, it's going to shrink more this way than in width. So I mean, that's good. And it certainly did. So I'm not unhappy with it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's super comfy and just kind of like grandpa's sweater, those. And I've had it on. I put it on, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, and it's not too hot. And which I'm kind of surprised at. So it's Cascade 220 Heathers in the color Summer Night. And I'm surprised it's not warm, because I have another sweater that I'll wear at some point called the Hintermost Sweater, and it is knit. I have to remember what it's knit out of. Well, I don't think I can. It is so hot I can barely wear it in the house.
But that was a real dense fabric, though, wasn't it?
Well, it's a color work, so it's doubled up in the color work sections. But the color work is just
at the bottom.
The bottom, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because I started it, I never finished it. I just thought it was a pretty dense.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful.
Small needle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I can look it up, because look at this. I've got my computer. Yeah, I mean, I love it and I really want to wear it. And part of my issue with it is that it's an open sweater. And I don't even have it in here. Okay, forget it. It's an open, it doesn't have any buttons. So for outerwear, it's kind of like, if I want to be warm, I want it. So I might put a snap button on it or something.
Yeah, or toggles or something.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking about that because I love that sweater. It's just definitely outerwear. This I feel like I could just throw on and wear around the house anytime.
Yeah, no, I've got an old sweater like that. Now, here's a little bit too much information. So, but in the mornings when I get out of bed, I have an old sweater that I just put on over my jams, and it's cozy. It's just, yeah. So yeah, great.
Cool.
So what else?
And then the other things I finished, I've shown these before. This is the Urth Uneek Zebra. And those lights are kind of weird behind me. So it's, this was a tube, and it's got this turned hem that the gal who did the tube did for us. And then I did the heels and toes with black, which was a disaster. I mean, I had to practically be under the sun to see it. But the thing I wanted to show is that this is one tube. And so I did, this one is a little bit longer. These aren't blocked. So this one is quite a bit longer, even though they kind of look the same. And then this one was the bottom of the tube. So I did the toe, the heel, and the cuff with the black.
So you got two pairs.
Yep. These are the other two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super psyched about those. I was never a sock knitter, you guys. I hated knitting socks. And this quarantine, I've kind of gotten into it, and I have knit basically socks and sweaters. And part of them have been some of the tubes, which is awesome. But I also have knit, I don't know, like 3 pairs from, for real, which is probably as many as I've knit in my whole knitting life. So, and that's it. I mean, it's been all puppy all the time, so I haven't finished too much other stuff. What about you?
Well, I have finished some stuff. I am wearing, it's the Kobolt, K-O-B, Kobolt, K-O-B-O-L-T, and it's by Sarah Solomon, Into the Woods. And this is done out of Woolfolk Luft. So this is that yarn that it's a blown into like I think it's like a cotton netting, and then the fiber is blown into it. So it's not heavy, but it's super warm. And I did this in the navy. Let me see how much I can.
Oh, I love that sweater, Nancy. That is so pretty. And I love how that yarn, I think on some of them, the netting is a color lighter than what's blown in. And
right.
So it looks
so mine was white. Yeah, mine was white. In fact, and I think I've got about 3 skeins of this left over. And I know Kevin from Needles at the Ready, I keep telling him I'm going to send it to him. So Kevin, it will come your way.
That sounds like it's a threat.
No, it's a gift. And I just sent some yarn. I should have stuck it in there, but I didn't think about it. But anyway, and this is a couple years old. But really, guys, I'm getting so many sweaters that I forget about them. I do the Marie Kondo way where I roll them up in the drawers, but sometimes they get stuck kind of, in the back. And so I found it and I thought, oh yeah, I should wear that. But I did finish some stuff. I finished my sister's socks, and this is the Felici in the 7 C's. So
that turned out so cute.
I haven't wove my ends in. I started watching a new podcast. It's Michael at Piece for Piece. And I don't feel so bad because I guess he doesn't weave his ends in either for a really long time. But I've got to get these woven in. I'm not going to block them. I'm just going to give them to her. Just my vanilla sock. It's toe up, like the Judy's Magic cast on for the toe. Just your little toe, stockinette, fish lips, kiss heel. And I don't have a formula as to how long I make my leg. I tend to make mine probably a little shorter than, because I don't like them all the way up my calf.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just do a 2x2 rib, and I bind off by knitting 2 through the back loop, and then stick that needle back, or that stitch back on the left hand needle, and then knit 2 together through the back loop. And that's my bind off, and it seems to be stretchy enough. So
yeah, that seems like a good bind off for socks.
So that's number 1. Number 2, I finished my Cozy Classic Raglan Sweater. Seems how I had a month, I should have finished it. So here it is. And the ends are woven in. So it's,
well, you wore it, didn't you? Is that the one you wore at the shop when we did our?
No, I wore the City Limits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have not worn this one yet. I was kind of saving it for the podcast. And this is done out of Trilogy Yarns in my merino cashmere nylon DK weight in the Cabernet color. And then I carried a strand of the mohair silk in the Jovial color, which is a little lighter pink. So it just kind of gave it almost a marled look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so soft, mohair silk. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
It's luscious. So I did finish that. And I have a half finished sock. So this one is, there again, just my vanilla sock. I just do vanilla socks. They're easy to pick up and put down. This one was some leftover yarn from the Hocus Pocus Halloween Advent. And on that Advent, I had to make minis. So this was one of the full skeins that I made some minis out of, and I just had some left. I'm not even sure what the colorway, I can look, but I'm not even sure what the colorway was, but this was, yeah. So I got half done. And then my toe, I just cast on my toe yesterday, so I haven't got much done, just enough. I cast on magic loop. And so I've just gone to my 9-inch circulars. So
What do you cast on?
what
Like
kind
what
of
needles? Yeah.
I do magic loop to cast on. So
And then
I've
you
got,
transfer once you have enough.
Right, because I increase then for my toes.
Mm-hmm.
So once I get up to 64 stitches, when I got English, when I have 32 stitches on each needle, then I'll switch over to the 9-inch, and it's a little tight. I think I've done a couple rows, so you've got, you know, a little bit now of the toe showing.
Yeah.
But the first couple rounds, it's a little tight, and then once I get more length in the foot, then I can just fit my hands in there and go round and round and round.
Cool.
So I kind of jumped into FOs, but that was like a hoe. So
yeah.
Sorry, jumping ahead.
That's all right.
But I think that is all that I finished. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have got a, I forgot to bring it in here, so I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I need you to enable screen sharing, Nancy. We should have done that before we, because I wanted to show, I've been talking about this yarn that I got from Interweave years ago, and it's just been sitting, and I've been searching and searching for projects to do with it.
Uh-huh.
And I finally
see what I'm doing.
Found it.
What am I doing?
Ooh, you've got a pretty screensaver.
Ah. Oh my gosh, guys. How do I get back? Stop sharing, right?
There
Technology.
Yep. Well, it's our first time doing this. I think it's going pretty well, all things considered. Okay. No, it's not enabled, so forget it. I will share it next time.
Run out and get it.
Yeah, I can run out and get it. You can home.
We'll just admire your stash.
Chat amongst yourself.
Let's see. We'll just admire your stash.
Oh, right.
You know, honest to gosh, I've not been to Kathleen's craft room forever. So she talks about her stash, but yeah. Crazy. So is everybody going to have something fun for Thanksgiving? I hope everybody stays safe. Crazy times.
Okay, thank you.
Out there. Okay, it's hard zooming by yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So this is the yarn I was talking about that I've been hanging on to for years. It's called Crestone by MountainTop by Classic Elite, and it's actually not made anymore, but there's a lot of yarns like this. It's a really pretty marled gray and cream, just natural colors, and it's very woolly. It's 100% something naturally undyed wool. So I found this sweater that I just kind of came upon. It wasn't in my Ravelry favorites or anything, and it's called the Big Y, for obvious reasons. And so these are the raglan decreases, and then they just keep going under the arm and down the sides. And then the bottom, I wonder if it has a, well, here's a little bit bigger picture. It has a kind of a split hem detail.
Oh, kind of a high-low type.
Yeah, so I thought that was just really cute and simple. In this picture, it's got a turtleneck, which I'm not doing. I'm doing the one I showed you the first time, which is just ribbed shorter collar. You can't see it that well there, but kind of. And so this is how far I am. I've gotten started on, I need to change the needle sizes. So this is going to be one of the raglan increases, and you increase on either side of the markers on that detail. And then this is the collar. So I'm a little bit flummoxed on this one because I got gauge. It calls for 5 or 6 needles and a worsted weight yarn. And so I did get the gauge on 6s, but it feels really stiff to me. So I'm going to take a gauge swatch, and after I get a little bit more on here, because even if the collar is a little bit, I mean, it'll loosen up. That's the other thing. I might just stop and do a gauge swatch and wash it and see what happens, you know, because.
So you did not do a gauge swatch?
I did a gauge swatch, but I didn't wash it.
Oh, okay.
So, and I pulled it out, so I'll have to do another one, but I just want to see, I just don't want it to be too itchy or too stiff, you know, after all that work in knitting a sweater. But isn't it knitting up beautifully? I just love how it doesn't even hardly look, I mean, it looks a little bit marled, but not, it's not loud at all. And I think it'll be really nice for that sweater. That sweater is simple and, you know, I think it's a good match. Finally, this yarn that's been hanging out in my,
oh my gosh, yeah. So is that a fairly soft yarn?
No, it's not. It's, I mean, I wouldn't call it scratchy, but it's definitely woolly. You know, it's definitely.
So is it going to be one you're going to have to wear something under?
You know, maybe. I mean, I normally do wear something under my sweaters, unless they're that Woolfolk far, which, you know, you want to have
Luft that, yeah.
Yes.
Just like, in fact, I just had one of the kids come crack open the slider because I'm getting glowy. It's warm in here.
Yeah. And you've got that warm sweater on.
Yes.
You can handle the breeze. So yeah, so that's happening. And then so I think I've told you guys about the doll. This is the doll.
So cute.
Yes, I mean, yeah, adorable. And so our niece wanted that for her birthday, which did not happen. So she's getting it for Christmas. So I just started knitting it, and I don't know why I took so long. It's ridiculous because it's so fast. So this is the body. I know I have a little bit of a glare here. This is the body, and it's Berroco vintage DK knit on 3s. So it's really tight, which it needs to be because it's going to be stuffed. And then it's weird because so this is the body, and then it's got this enormous leg. Yeah, I mean, it's just like so long. It's 80 some rows. So
oh, that's going to be so cute though.
Yeah, it'll be really cute. And then I have to knit the clothes and stuff.
Now, is this a Christmas gift?
Yeah. And it has to be shipped to Denmark, so I gotta hop to it.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you hop on Zoom tonight, Zoom knitting, because we're doing it early because of Thanksgiving. You can work on that.
I think I probably will. Okay, what about you? What do you have on the needles?
Well, I already showed the socks, so that I kind of cheated.
All right.
So I did work on my scrappy blanket again this week or this month. So
Wow.
I've added a fair amount. My problem is I just don't go up and across. I've got zigzags because I get bored and I want to fill in a different spot. But
That's all right. That's the beauty of that kind of
I
knitting.
know, but I did get some more squares done. I actually
Cool.
got quite a few. Yeah.
I
So,
think
and
I recognize some of that Felici.
it's a lot of it is Felici. I don't use any of my hand dyed in this one. I throw my hand dyed in another tub, and I probably will do something with that. But while I was writing up show notes, I thought, I have 3 blankets going. Oh, sorry, I just hit the table. 3 blankets going. So I think I'm going to dedicate to working on one. I've done so many sweaters, and that's not to say I'm not going to cast on another sweater, but it's a good time of the year to work on them because it's not hot. So I like this one, but I'm doing the Bits and Bobs by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. And I really like that one. So I think I'll pull that one out and maybe work on that and finish that. And that's like a fisherman rib type. It's like a kind of brioche. It looks like brioche.
Oh,
So it's a really fun one. And then of course I have the granny striped crocheted. But so I did work on the Cozy Memories. And then I cast on this is, look at my notes, Branches and Buds by Carrie Bostic Hogue. So
oh
this
my
is
God.
what I've been working on, and this has been really fast. So I've separated for the sleeves here, just working on the body, and this is done in my sport weight in. So the taupey color is my beaver colorway, part of my Crayola collection. And then the pink is just my blush.
That is just stunningly
It's
beautiful.
so fun. I don't know how much yarn I'm going to have. So I think at this point I may hop on and do the sleeves. And I probably am thinking maybe just kind of like bracelet length on this. And so I might just kind of stop and do the sleeves and then go back and do the body. And I am doing I'm helical knitting because I'm using 2 skeins because it is hand dyed. And for those of you that don't know how to do the helical knitting, and I actually just passed the spot, but so you knit around in one color. And then when you get around and you're going to pick up the other strand in the same color. So you do a row from each skein. So what I would do, so here's my yarn from the last row that I stopped. Let me turn it around, maybe you can see it better. So this, I'm going to find the camera here, this stitch, is that showing up? But anyway, when I'm getting to that stitch now, when I go around and it's time to pick up this yarn to knit a row, I will stop 3 inches before this stitch and I'll knit to here.
You mean 3 stitches? 3 stitches. Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll stop knitting here with the other yarn and then I'll slip these 3 stitches. And so I've slipped the stitch that has the yarn attached to my needle and then knit around. And so that's the helical knitting. I think a lot of people know it, but it's a good thing to do on any hand dyed. So you don't have pooling of your, sorry for the light.
Yeah, that looks good.
You don't have pooling that way. And as careful as hand dyers are for getting formula is the same, there's always
Yeah,
interferences of some kind. And so that's a good way too to introduce a new color, so it's not so obvious. As long as it's close enough, you don't get striping. So
right.
anyway.
Well, and that's a great thing. I love that with knitting in the round, you can actually just do one round.
One round.
And not have to do the two, because I think that you get more striping that way.
And the advantage of doing the helical like that, or helix, or is if you were to go around and stop right at the point that you had your last yarn, drop it, pick up your new yarn, you're going to get like a little faux seam up the back. And so this way with the helical knitting, you can't see where you've picked up one strand and dropped the other. So it's just a real nice. So, and I think, one thing about this pattern, the branches and buds, and I can show you. You take, is that showing up?
So pretty, yeah.
So it has you taking little scraps of yarn. I don't even know if you can see that, but it's like putting little buds of different colors on the branches.
Oh.
And in fact, we were talking about that the other day, thinking maybe they're like little French knots or something. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not a bauble fan. I'm not I don't want little nipply things sticking off my
it's kind of an awkward place in the sweater to do that. You guys you could do like duplicate stitch bits of color, but
I just don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to keep it just simple. So so that is what has been getting my little time. I know that my knitting time is going to increase. It has to. So that's do you have any future or dream knitting?
I do, and I got so I've had this is Woolfolk tinned or tined, I'm not quite sure, and it's this beautiful kind of robin's egg blue. And I thought this was DK, and so Chris had knit up a sample for the shop called Capelet Deja Vu. And she did it in her Woolfolk. I don't remember what it was, but it is the DK. This is fingering. So she carries Snow at her shop, which is this marled yarn. So I got, and it's fingering. So I got two of these, and this is, let's see if I can get it to show. Yeah, that's pretty good. Kind of a brown, purpley brown. And then this is kind of a peachy pink. The pink isn't showing up that well, but so I'm going to use these three colors to do my poncho. I tried her sample on and it was great, but I have to make sure I can get the gauge because the pattern actually calls for sport, and she knit it with DK. And then I'm using fingering, so it's going to be a challenge. This yarn though really blooms a lot, so I think
you might be able to get away with
and I need to check in with her to see, just to double check that she got gauge when she did it, because it's a poncho, so it's not that important, right? I mean, it is kind of it's important, but it's not crucial if you have the exact gauge. So she might have just done it a little bit bigger, and her I didn't think about this until a couple days ago. Hers fit me perfectly, and if I'm doing it on a smaller yarn and she did it, so anyway, I gotta figure that out.
Maybe even just pulling up a needle size might be.
Well, and the other thing is I don't like knitting color work, and this is color work, and I was almost thinking that I'll just knit it in stripes or some other like stitch patterns, like totally change it, like do it sort of like
You
a
could do
moss
like a
stitch and a,
mosaic knit too.
I think it is some, I mean, it might be kind of fun. It might be, I don't love the color work pattern though.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I can figure it out, but I was thinking it might be cool in sort of an Aran pattern, just all different stitch patterns. But that also, I don't know. As you can see, it's
Oh, you mean like
we're mulling.
cables and,
Yeah.
oh,
Or
yeah.
even like, what is that called? Not Aran. It's called, I can't think of what it's called now. But just stitch patterns, not like
So,
cables and
yeah.
So anyway, that's on my mind. What about you? Do you have any upcoming plans?
I don't. I do want to say want to spend some time on the blankets. I've seen some really cute hat patterns out there, and I'm going to show you something that I've gotten for the shop that may sorry guys, that I'm gonna probably do. So I think hats and blankets. I'm sure I'll cast on another sweater. I always seem to. Oh, and then maybe shawl. There was a shawl that one of the guys in our Thursday night group, I should have written it down. I have it on my Ravelry, but so I might do that. And that's a mosaic shawl. Sorry. Not
Cool.
prepared. I've only had a month. What the heck?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So,
well, I have an acquisition to share.
I'd love to see it.
I think you might recognize it. So at the trunk show at Knit the studio, Nancy was a genius and put together her yarns with these pom-poms. And I was like, I just totally fell in love with this color. This color is awesome. And it's an oak. It's a one of a kind. So sorry guys.
I know.
I love it. And then these pom-poms are insane. I think they say they're raccoon. I don't know.
Yeah,
but this one I think is the color olive.
Yeah.
And they are from Big Bad Wool. It'll be in the show notes. And the thing I really love about them is they have a snap. So you can have this on or not. And I think the snap can go inside the hat and then kind of poke up through the top where you pull. And so if you take off the pom-pom, you're not just going to have this weird snap on top of your hat. But anyway, I just love these pom-poms. They remind me of like Jody and Tracy, their big giant. I mean, this is like maybe small compared to their, well, maybe not. Anyway, so that's going to be a hat of some kind. And this is the worsted, superwash worsted yarn. It's so squishy. I love it.
Yeah, kind of a slimy, greeny, goldy.
Yeah.
Olivey. Yeah, it was.
And I think you have a few of these, didn't you, of this color?
No, just the one.
Just one. Okay.
Now it's
but it's similar to
whiskey.
Yes.
But that's got a little bit more of the slimier green. I don't want to call it slimy.
Olive.
I don't know, kind of an olive.
Yeah.
Maybe an olive green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and is that, yeah, that's my new, and then this yarn is fairly new that I just showed. This snow is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And comes in so many colors. Do you have anything new?
I have new stuff for the shop, but I did pull out a favorite.
Okay.
A semi-favorite.
Yeah.
The jury is still out. So I have one of these things.
Yeah.
That, if you're doing two color, I don't want to do this and get my balls off. I don't want to get my balls in a twist. But normally they would slide down, and then they spin. And you have these little yarn guides that you can put your yarn through. So you can kind of keep your colors separate. And then they come off.
That's
But
cool.
I guess if I'm doing color work, like on my sweater that I'm working on, when I do color work, I am a kind of a flicker when I knit, little kind of a picker flicker. And so when I do color work, then I pick and I throw, a picker thrower. And then when I do color work,
You're a thrower.
can I start
And
over?
when you do color work, you pick with one and
Yes,
throw with
so
the other.
I am a thrower, kind of a
Mhm.
thrower flicker with my right hand. And then, so color work, I pick with my left hand. So something like that is not real practical for me. Oh, sorry, the cats, I think, got into the catnip.
Oh,
So I have a ball on each side of me that I can just knit with. And the other thing I found about that when I used it, that the cat knows how to get the ball of yarn off the spindle. And she's getting better about leaving my yarn alone, but I still get up in the mornings and see, random balls under the coffee table or something. So yeah, that was my
that thing is really cool. It doesn't seem super portable though. We pack our sweaters around and
yeah. And I guess that's why I don't really use yarn bowls that much. Lots of times I'll just leave my yarn in my project bag and it's just on the floor and stuff. But I think it's cool. I've had it for probably about 9 months and I thought it was cool.
I mean, it
looks cool.
It looks cool. Exactly. Yeah. It would be cool on your shelf up there.
Up there, yeah, next to my all my stuff. But I have to keep it clear because the cat's figured out how to get up there and she likes to lay on top now. So I have to be careful. There's no
cats. Yeah, the cats run the house, really.
Cats run the house. So yeah, so that was my favorite. And
cool. So my favorite is this little guy. And this is one of those yarn cozies. And so you put your ball of yarn in there once it starts to get kind of raggedy, once you're near the end, and then it just keeps it under control. And it's Buffy Ann designs, and they come in packages of 3. Some shops sell them individually, which I kind of like, because then you can get different designs. But if you look, I'll link them. The best selection I found was at KnitPicks, so I'll link it to that. And they have so many cute designs. They're just adorable, and they're like
to carry them.
I know. I looked on her site and I didn't see them
because I bought several from her. It does.
So she might just be out of stock
of your balls.
Yeah.
Contained too.
Yeah, and I've used these when I'm doing color work too so it doesn't get totally out of control. But I just love these. So that's my favorite. Well, I have no idea how long we've been. Oh, just almost an hour.
Okay. So should we do shop news and then?
Yes.
Okay. So shop news. Let's see. Exciting stuff. Like I said earlier, Advents are out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. I did get a lot of requests for Halloween, a lot of requests to see if I had any more of the Halloween Advents. I did relist them as a post Halloween Hocus Pocus Advent, and I'm going to have that listed until about December 14th. My goal is to get them dyed up and shipped so they will be out by Christmas Day. It's still going to be the 14 minis and the full skein. There will be goodies in the bags. There probably won't be Halloween candy in the bags, but there'll be other goodies. And, you can open them as you wish. I still have 2 ongoing yarn clubs. I have the Princess Bride Sock Club, which I need to dye up for Friday. And so I can get those shipped out next week. That is a full 100-gram skein of an 80-20 fingering weight and a coordinating mini to go with it. All Princess Bride themed. And it is a 3-month, it's an ongoing 3-month subscription. Does not automatically renew. If you want it renewed, you just re-up for another 3 months. And then I also have the Pride and Prejudice Club, which is a merino cashmere nylon DK yarn, and that is just a full 100-gram skein based on Pride and Prejudice. So there's always a little goodie when I send out a yarn club shipment. I always include some kind of little goodie for you. So that is the clubs I have going currently. I will be starting a new club the first of the year. It's going to be a happy hour club. So it'll be based on happy hour drinks, and whatever drink of the month that I'm dying for, I'll include the recipe. So you can, I'm not sure if I'll be tasting all the drinks.
You should host a happy hour after you've had it. A Zoom happy hour for club members.
Happy hour. I'm not a sweet drinker, so a lot of the pretty drinks are sweet. So I don't know how many of those I'll try. I will try my martinis and stuff like that. So anyway,
I'll try the sweet ones for you.
There you go. Yeah, you can be my taste tester. So I'll be announcing more of that next month. I did get, so I said earlier, a couple things. New colorways. I dyed up some new colorways since our last podcast, and I showed them on our little bonus episode. This one is peppermint bark, and this one is on my merino cashmere nylon plush base. So peppermint bark. And I have Gnome Hill, because everybody's doing the gnomes right now. So
cute. That would be a cute sweater just with jeans.
Wouldn't that be cute? Yeah, a weekender.
Yeah.
Yes. I have Mirage.
Oof, love that.
New one. And then I have another one, and I sold it all out. And I was actually dyeing some this morning for a wholesale order. So it's a little damp. You can get to it here. So this is Trailhead.
Oh, yes. So beautiful.
So this one is still kind of damp, but this is Trailhead, and it's got, I think it's got, I know it's got 7 different colors in it.
Wow.
So this is a really fun one. So Trailhead is new. And then I also am going to start carrying some Pom-Poms in the shop. So not quite as big as fluffy as the ones that Kath had, but what I plan to do, and I'll put together some hat kits. So we'll have a pom-pom and a skein, and so I'll offer those as a hat kit in the shop. Those will not be listed until the first of the week. Also new to the shop, my granddaughter's been going crazy making stitch markers and progress keepers, and we have some really fun ones. I'm going to upload pictures. See how I can do this. These ones are all owls. See if I can get them separated, and oh my gosh, work with me. Let me see. So,
oh man, those are adorable.
So there's some owls. I mean, we've got assorted stuff. This one's got a progress keeper, pumpkin spice latte progress keeper. It's got Christmas cookies and milk.
Oh, how
And
cute.
so all of those. And so she's been really having fun with these. Some of these are just like little stones.
Ooh, those are pretty. These always make me think of Audrey. She always has the most beautiful, that's one of the
Yeah.
gals in our knitting group. She always has the most beautiful stitch markers.
Some fruits. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't work.
Cute.
But anyway, they'll all be
Yeah.
photographed, and I'm gonna try to get those. These are like little half moons.
Oh, those are cute.
And then one that says made with love. So I'm gonna get these uploaded tomorrow, so they will be in the shop this weekend. Just in time for my Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday sale. 20% off everything in the shop except the clubs and the Halloween Advent. No code needed. It's already been applied. So Friday morning at 12:01 and it runs till Sunday night, 11:59. I will not be able right away to fulfill orders for the merino cashmere nylon DK weight yarn. The suppliers, we've been kind of fighting this through the whole COVID thing, and my supplier will not get any more of that for about a month. I have a little left, but I don't think I have enough to fulfill orders. So if you do order it on the merino cashmere nylon DK weight, you will get a little email from me offering you to either, if you want to wait until I get it in, exchange it for a different base. I do have 100% superwash merino in a DK weight. So that's always an option too if you want a DK weight. So anyway, look for the big sale. It's already been posted. Be sure and follow me on Instagram at Trilogy Yarns. And I'll do some reminders of that. Also,
Nancy, you said it was going to run through Sunday at 11:59. Do you mean Monday?
Monday,
Okay.
yes, thank you. Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then I'll work on getting orders out then next week. I do have quite a bit of yarn dyed up, but if I get an order for something I don't have, it just usually takes me a day or two to dye it up to ship it out. So I've got that. I don't know, we may podcast again before Vogue, but I'm doing Vogue virtual live again in December. I think I did that in September. So I'm doing it again in December, and I have 3 one-hour sessions where you can sign up, and I'll talk about different yarns, some projects, color combinations. It'll all be done via Zoom, so I can interact with everybody. But I think we have one more podcast before then. And like I say, if you follow me on Instagram, I put all that stuff out there. So,
and I think that Vogue, you can just buy the marketplace pass, and it's really reasonable.
yeah, it's $4.99 or something like that.
Yeah, and they might have a enhanced marketplace pass or something like that, which I think you get a little bit more, but it also is reasonable.
Right. And this year, or this one, and I don't know if they did it for the last Vogue because I didn't participate in that one. I have more of, I also got like an advanced vendor package. So I get a little extra publicity. I will be doing 2 demonstrations. I don't know what. I don't know what I'm going to demonstrate yet. I don't really have, a good way to photograph what I dye, and in a half an hour, it's hard to talk about that, but I'll figure out something. But like I say, that's another month away or so. So
you can do that helical knitting demonstration.
I could do that. I could do, I thought I could do different kinds of joins,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I guess my thinking about that is, well, I guess not every knitter knows, I might just do
No,
some tips and tricks. So you can help me think of different tips and tricks.
yeah. Yeah, if you have any ideas, leave a comment.
Yeah, let us know. And I think that's the end of my notes.
All right, that means that's the end of our podcast.
So I just want to say, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Please do what you need to do. We need to get a handle on this stuff. It's bad. It's really bad here. You don't always know you have it when you have it. So don't assume that because you feel good that you're okay. Wash your hands, wear your mask, support your local yarn stores, shop small business this Saturday. The small businesses are really taking a hit. And, I can speak personally from that because all of my trunk shows and, stuff like that have been put on the back burner. And so just continue to support your small business and, stay safe. Take care. Be sure and comment, like, subscribe, hit the little bell if you want notifications. And I didn't even talk to Kath about this, but I'm thinking maybe around the first of the year, we should do another knit along. So if anybody has suggestions of what they would like us to do, if any other podcasters want to do a collaboration, we did that one before, and I thought that was really fun.
Really fun.
So we're always open to suggestions.
Yep. All right. Well, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Take good care. Bye, everyone.
Stay safe. Have a happy Thanksgiving.